Good evening. Hey Ryusaki, how's it going? I still haven't bitten the bullet on SF6 yet. There's other stuff. There's too many games coming out. People need to stop for like a year and let me catch up. But I've been doing alright. Yeah, today was... Oh man. I really meant to get a schedule out earlier in the week. Until, it's real good. Some of my new fighters are... some of the new fighters are great. Been trying to practice JP. I've seen people do some bullshit with JP. He looks like he's from another fucking game, the way that character plays. Oh my god, I completely forgot what I was, Oh, right, yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this week I'll try and get some stuff in, no, it was Elden Ring, that's right. So, a couple of nights in a row, I, sat around for an hour to try and, get some stuff done, and couldn't get a summon. Just no summon signs around. I was like, oh, shit. Really glad I chose not to stream that then, because, Jesus, I would have been waiting forever. And then last night, got on, within 10 minutes, found like 4, went in with the first group of 2 people, and one-shot it, despite the fact one of them died like halfway through, because they were being a bit too risky, in my opinion. But yeah. That's basically why I hadn't done anything during the week, and I was kind of wondering, like, oh god, should I put off the 14 stream I wanted to do, just to, like, make sure I get ahead on Elden Ring, and I can start doing that, like, at least next week, and thankfully I didn't need to abandon this, so this morning I was like, oh fuck, I still haven't put up the schedule, have I? And, then here we are. And on time, no less, which is a fucking miracle these days. Yeah. We got some role quests to do. We've got the Fizz ranged one, in Doma. And then we've got the follow-up. So, I don't know how long the follow-up is. I know that, I roughly know the length of the Fizz range one. I feel like we could probably still get through it all tonight. It's gonna depend. And also it's gonna depend on my energy. Last 2 days in particular, I was getting pounded by stuff at work, so... I'm just excited to have someone offering Sanctuary from the Overlord FF16. Well, you're in luck, because I cannot play it, because I don't have a PS5. So until that gets ported to PC, which, according to Yoshi P, is not happening this year, I will not be playing that. So, I'm praying I can avoid spoilers. People have already made some hot takes about the general quality of the story, and I don't care. I'll evaluate that myself. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. So, let's get to it. And we're gonna be doing this as Dancer. Also, I think I said this, last stream, but again, hadn't seen the male dancer outfit for Endwalker. Anyway, what's up? Seeds of Disquiet. The Doma delegate is seeking able-bodied adventurers on behalf of Lord Hien. Do mine eyes deceive me? Master Aldine! Oh, thank the Kami. Lord Hien has requested assistance in the resolution of a most urgent matter, the hunt for a felled beast believed to be a blasphemy. Though we have made great strides in ensuring the safety of our people, we fear even our finest shinobi will be no match for this enemy, for it commands the skies of Doma. But as your talent for striking down foes at a distance is beyond compare, I can think of no one better to aid us in overcoming this adversary. It would be a pleasure. Well, no, the marksman is up to the task. Yeah, Al is not that confident in his dancing abilities, I'm gonna say. Oh, Kami be praised. I shall inform Lady Yugiri that she may receive you at the Doman Enclave. Safe travels, Master Aldine. Oh, fucking Doman Enclave, really? You're gonna make me whip out the fucking list of shit. Why can't I click through to this on a map? I genuinely don't understand that. I figure it, like... I'm pretty sure it was in the base game of Stormblood. Because this is, like, the kind of final resolution of a lot of stuff that... Actually, no, maybe it was only introduced in patches. But even then, like... Surely that wouldn't be a fucking detractor. Or, sorry. Surely that wouldn't be a hurdle in being able to, like, you know, make doing this stuff go to a actual place in the fucking map. Who knows. It is good to see you, Aldine. When we received word that you of all people had answered the call, I could scarcely believe it. Yet here you are. Lord Hien would be pleased for this reunion. If you would wait here a moment. My boy. Well, well, that the Kami should guide your steps to our door once more, and with such fortuitous timing. We'll get a next expansion, like how we got the Sapphire Avenue Exchange Aetherite and Shadowbringers. Or, sorry, Stormblood. Wait, there wasn't a fucking... There wasn't an Ethernet point in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange? Oh my god. Well, I guess it is, like, right next to the Adventurers Guild, so it's, like, that in a loading zone away, but... God. Pray, forgive me for not affording you a hero's welcome, but time is not on our side. Not long after receiving word of men transforming into hideous beasts in Thavnir, a similar creature was born of a woman in Isari. After attacking another villager, it took to the skies and fled, though to where, we know not. An all too cruel twist of fate. But the one slain was among the prisoners returned to us in the deplorable exchange with Asahi and the Empire, just when they had at last begun to piece their life back together. Okay. I was wondering where we were going to go with this. Because Doma obviously is, like, broadly Doma is not in a good position when we left them off. Like, they're still kind of rebuilding, and even in the patches, we've obviously helped things go through, but I don't think we've revisited them since pre-Shadowbringers? Yeah, pre-Shadowbringers, I think. If I remember, we didn't get the blue quest icons until, like, 3.2, until then unlocks with gold, like every other quest. Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that. This blasphemy must be stopped. Alas, our foes want to keep to the skies, well beyond the reach of our samurai and shinobi. Thus we seek the aid of those proficient in ranged combat, able to pluck the beast from the heavens. Of course, martial prowess alone will not solve our problems. Others have turned into weaker but no less gruesome abominations, as was the case in Thavnir, and their numbers increase by the day. From what I understand, this phenomenon is not unlike a sickness which spreads by feeding on fear and anxiety, emotions which, of late, can be found in abundance. Slaying the beasts means nothing if the people's hearts cannot be put at ease. Lord Ian? Oh. You have to help the villagers, they... Sir, please, calm yourself and tell us what happened. Another's been turned in Namai, my lord. For a blessing, no one was harmed when the beast flew into a rage, but the people are in a panic. I fear what may happen next. It would seem we have less time than I thought. Worry not, we will see to the beast. As of yet, there is no cure for this affliction, but we will save what lives we can, I promise you. I trust you are ready to join the fray? Of course. It was last seen near the glittering basin. Come, I will show you. Oh, thank God you moved us out of there. Oh, wow, we moved a fucking distance, didn't we? Beast was right here, I swear it. I thank you for leading us here, but it is not safe. Please return to your village. We should split up if we're to have any chance of finding it. Aldine, would you see to the west? I will search in the north. Yugiri, I leave the east to you. If you find it, remember, these blasphemies are no longer people. They will not hesitate to strike you down, so you mustn't either. Now, let us not waste any more time. Yeah, following up on the people that have come back from Garlemald is probably like... And actually, now that I think about it, that's not too dissimilar from what's happening with Alamigo. In the grand scheme of things. Ah. Hey. No. Also, I haven't played this much at 90. I've mostly been playing at sub, like, I think 85-ish. Can't remember. Oh, no, actually mostly at 50. Because I've basically been doing main scenario to level it. So I'm definitely going to be rusty here. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of people doing the deep dungeon, even to level, right now. Are you alright? We heard shouting and came as fast as we could. It would appear Aldine arrived not a moment too soon. Why? Why did you kill my brother? Oh dear. Your brother? Young man, that creature was not your kin. Not anymore. Had he not laid it to rest, it would have killed you, and countless others. But if your heart cries out for one to blame, let it be me. The beast was slain at my behest, for it was the only way. No! No, you're wrong! You killed him! Murdered him! I hate you! Oh, God. Oh. Long time no see. Issei, what are you doing here? Searching for Tombo, though clearly you found him first. The monster was his older brother, as you may have guessed, and Tombo gave chase the moment it ran off. I beg you forgive him his outburst. His brother was all he had left. Their father was conscripted by the Empire and was, regrettably, not among those returned to us in the recent exchange of prisoners. Though they might one day be reunited was their only comfort when the Viceroy still ruled. I can only imagine how they felt when she walked into Asari, a shadow of her former self. Wait, what? Oh. Right. Tsuyu may have had no memories of the monster she was, but her victims still see her in their dreams. Nevertheless, like many, the brothers prayed your mercy would see their family restored. But then they learned of her death and their father's absence. Deprived of hope and of hate all at once. They had nothing. My apologies for rambling. No, it is rather an enlightening tale. I spared the woman who brought him pain, and took the brother who brought him comfort. I would hate me too. I swear I will set things right for Tombo. For all the people of Doma. Please, return home, Issei, and be safe. Let us return to the Doman Enclave. This ordeal has given me much to consider. Okay. That's interesting. Oh my god. Every time. Interesting framing we've got so far. And a little more distinct compared to the, compared to Alamigo, because the Alamegans weren't keen to receive their people back, whereas generally the broad implication is that the people of Doma were more glad to receive the people who had either been conscripted or taken prisoner as part of the exchange. Or, sorry, when the Empire ruled. So, at least, like, practically speaking, the people of Doma, whilst probably in a worse... no, I feel like they probably had a little bit more opportunity to kind of pick up the pieces. And, like, comparing the suffering of Alamigo and Doma, at least in, some senses, is probably a bit misguided. Nonetheless, I can see that, like, the return of people who, to Doma as opposed to Alamigo is probably more positive than it was in Alamigo. But it's interesting that we're immediately focusing on the things, like maybe the idea that, like, okay, the prisoner exchange was a victory, but it was a very small one. And especially with, like, the grand scope of the Empire, the amount of people that they took from Doma, the amount of damage they've done culturally, that, you know, that is obviously still a good thing, but, like, to some people it actually left them crestfallen, because, yeah, it didn't bring back the people they'd hoped it would. I owe you a great debt for your timely assistance. And an apology, for I made you an executioner in young Tombo's eyes. Would that I had been the one he witnessed cut down the beast his brother had become. But we haven't time to dwell on regrets and what should have been. No, we need to take action. And after hearing Tombo and his brother, I believe I know what must be done. A great many of our brothers and sisters were returned to us in the prisoner exchange, but even so, there are those who yet remain lost to us. Meanwhile, Yotsu, who was directly responsible for much of the people's suffering, was never held to account for her crimes. In death, she claimed vengeance for her suffering at the hands of her brother, but it came at the expense of justice for her countless victims. The people of Doma have every right to resent me for failing them and their grief. But what of those who cannot bring themselves to even do that, who are left alone with their anger and their pain? It may well give way to despair, and then they would share the same fate as Tombo's brother, yes. Which is why we must needs consider who else might share in his anguish, ere we find ourselves beset by more beasts. I will begin making rounds of the villages to inquire after those whom their neighbors believe are more distressed of late. Very good. I and the other shinobi shall continue our search for the blasphemy, which set these events in motion. And you, my friend, we will have need of your talents again ere long. Rest assured, we will keep you appraised of our findings. Kami answer. Lord Hien's extended absence from the Enclave does not sit well with Yugiri. Aldine, we have yet to ascertain the whereabouts of the blasphemy from Isari, but for a blessing, we have received no reports of others that have turned. Lord Hien, for his part, has made a concerted effort to go about the villages and converse with his subjects directly. I suspect his constant presence has served to allay the people's fears. As one might expect, he has ever been dedicated and diligent, but I fear he has been away over long. I thought to go and visit what should have been his last destination, Isari. Might I ask you to accompany me? Of course. Thank you. I'm sure there is no cause for concern, but nevertheless, I should be glad to find him quickly. It's honestly been so long since I've heard either of them speak that I'm like... I think... I'll take one loading screen over two. It's been so long since I've heard Yugiri or Hien talk. Again, I think probably, like, the patches leading up to Shadowbringers. Like, erecting the wall, or Seiryu's wall, and stuff like that. Oh, God. Oh, shit, we're going back here? Okay. Yeah, suddenly this makes a lot of sense. Or at least the things we're touching upon make a lot of sense. Oh, there they are. Thank goodness we found him. But why has he remained here so long, I wonder? Aldine, Yugiri. My apologies if I gave you cause for concern. Assessing the state of affairs here in Isari has proven difficult. To put it simply, the people, one and all, refuse to speak with me. They simply bow their heads and turn away at my approach. Knowing the blasphemy originated here, I cannot help but wonder if that was aught to do with their silence. Perhaps you could attempt to engage with the people in my stead. Surely they have no cause to deny the two of you. I should hope not. Nevertheless, I will don a disguise, lest I draw undue attention. Come, Aldine, let us see what we can discover. Thank you. Both of you. Do the people here not wish for the monstrosity to be laid low and for peace to reign once more? Why have they elected to behave in this manner? Well... it's possible that they might not, revere the monsters, but if the kid is anything to go by, there might be more of a recognition that that is still them, and thus a reluctance to actually do anything about it. At least that would be, like, my immediate thought. Oh, fuck. I mean, they might consider it a god in some way. Like, I need to look back at... Oh, no, there are multiple of these. Okay. I was going to try and find Yugiri to see if I could, like, see if she found anything, but... Blasphemy? You are mistaken, my friend. Our village was not visited not by a monster, but a kami. Izanami. There it is. It's a god. Where Lord Hien is cold and callous, she offers us boundless compassion and love. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Well, this is gonna be a fucking problem. Aye, that's right. The blasphemy was born of a young woman here in Asari. Tragic, really. Every day she prayed for the safe return of her husband, but it was not to be. If I'm to be honest, I fear the loss drove her poor mother-in-law mad. Kisei has ever been a devout believer in the kami and their blessings, but she's somehow convinced herself that Minato has become one. The delusions of a grieving parent, obviously, but an alarming number of people have come to share her belief. Heresy is what it is. Okay. Yeah. Alright. So people's opinions of this phenomena that just happened is actually kind of split. Some people believe, that the woman became a kami. But, there are those, obviously, who don't. Great debt to Lord Ian. If not for him, I would still be fighting under the Imperial standard. But the village suffered dearly under the occupation. What's more, our lord failed to punish the viceroy for her crimes, and failed to reunite many with their loved ones. I understand why some people would think poorly of him, even if I do not. Oh, God damn it. Every single time this game does this, like, I really appreciate the actual texture they give these situations. Even if sometimes I feel like they gloss over it in the end a little bit, like with Gridania, I do still really appreciate that they're not looking at this from, like, oh, everyone in this particular country has this uniform view on it. It's, like, where there should be texture, there is. I think it's an easy thing to dismiss when, like, that's not the point, but, like, even acknowledging that that might be a thing, even if it's not necessarily directly addressed, I think is just, like, better for the narrative in the long run. The situation here in Isari is complicated, to say the least. I see. Little wonder they would refuse to confide in me. The belief held by some that this blasphemy is a kami, however, is quite concerning. Izanami presides over life and death. She gave birth to the nation of Doma, and ushers souls of the departed unto the land of the dead. I trust you understand that what it would mean to deny them a source of hope in such dark times, even one such as this. The villagers also claim this Kisei can speak with the dead. In fact, she will be holding a gathering to demonstrate her powers ere long. Perfect opportunity to gauge the extent of their fanaticism. Not for me, of course. My presence would draw undue attention. Might I ask the both of you to attend in my stead? Of course. Her followers will be gathering in the tavern. Come. Just gonna get a... yeah. That's some good music. O spirits of Isari, I beseech you, lend me your voice and let your presence be known. Cross the veil and become among us once more. Akitsu. Oh no. Is this... No, wait. The guy that pulled the gun on Yotsuyu was killed. I was gonna say, if this is the guy that was almost forced to kill his parents, I'd be... But no, he's dead. Still tending the nets, like I taught you? Yes, father. Every day. Thanks to you, we never want for fish. Our bellies are never empty. I am proud to be your son. I was always too embarrassed to tell you before, but... And I am proud to have been your father. May you be ever blessed by the sea's bounty. It hurts. Father, what's wrong? He is in terrible pain, my child. Those who have cheated death's design yet live. It has disrupted the natural order, and the spirits suffer for it. Those who have cheated death's design. I don't think I like where this is going. What must we do to ease their pain? Fear not. Izanami shall put all to rights. She will claim the souls not long for this world and deliver them unto the hereafter. When her work is finished, your father's spirit and all the others will find peace. So let Izanami Oh. God. Can you find my father? Can you help me speak with him? Kisei, can you commune with my husband? What about my family? Help me, Kisei. Help, please. Where? Like, I don't think this woman is doing it out of malice, but like, yeah, just let the fucking creature killing people just indiscriminately kill people. It was meant to be. So, is Kisei's ability all that she claims? The young man spoke with his dearly departed father through her. I find that rather hard to believe. Even so, those in attendance appeared quite convinced, my lord. And I suspect a great many of the villagers I've spoken with recently are as well. Everywhere I went, the people were in so much pain. There was nothing I could do or say to give them solace. Yet for all their anguish, there has not been a single report of villagers turning since the incident with Tombo's brother. Huh. Which can only mean word of Kisei and her ability to speak with the deceased has spread. The belief we commune with our loved ones in death is a comfort far beyond my power to provide. Though I failed to see how the people would abide the kami claiming innocent lives to restore order. Yeah. She comes! Izanami! The blasphemy? Here. Lord Ian, the kami, she appeared as if from nowhere, and in the next instant this poor man was... So we were too late. Wait, was that the guy that... Yeah. Was any one of the villagers returned in the prisoner exchange? You recognize him, then? Curious that he and the blasphemy's first victim were former conscripts. What could the fiend be after, I wonder? Does not become my lord to speak ill of the kami. Kisei? Oh. Yeah, no, Kisei. I understand you are come to investigate the rumors of a monster born in our village. The blasphemy, you call it? You are sorely mistaken. My daughter-in-law, Minato, was chosen to serve as a vessel for Izanami. I witnessed her ascension with my own eyes. Oh, fuck. This feels like a far more twisted way for people to be. It's interesting. Like the contrast here. Like the blasphemy in Alamigo was a person returned from Garlemald who just like was basically not built for war. He basically, I think he was born into Garlemald. I can't remember if he like voluntarily chose, but basically like he couldn't help his friends, including Fort Dola, because he just wasn't kind of the battle hardened type, and eventually descended into despair. But the blasphemy didn't hurt anyone. Like, it very much pulled out of everywhere to make sure it wasn't hurting people, because its whole thing was just, like, kind of regretting not being able to help. And the grief of just, like, letting their friends die. Whereas this seems to be, like, an opposite, where, like, everyone was happy, or a lot of people were happy for the Garlemald conscripts to return, but, then this blasphemy is killing off the conscripts, and it's like, eh. And like it's coated in this belief of the kami, but I feel like we're probably going to get into the minutia, and it's like, well, yeah, I don't care if the Gallian conscripts die. Minato, please. I can't. I won't. There's no logic in it. No justice. Witch of Doma spared, given a second chance. My husband, condemned to die as a conscript. Yeah, okay, there we go. I'll never know what became of him. Lord Hien can't even give me that. When I look at the families he made whole, at their happiness, I feel the hole in my heart, the gaping wound that will never heal, begin to bleed. Only in my beloved's side will I find peace. You mustn't lose faith, Minato. All will be well. Trust in the kami, in Izanami. I want to believe, but... Yeah, and she didn't turn because she was like, oh, she believed. That's why she turned into... Izanami has come to bring peace to the souls of the departed, to restore balance between their worlds, a world and ours. Surely you would not dare defy the will of the kami. This balance you speak of has claimed the lives of two innocents, but recently returned to us. I cannot, I will not, accept that the kami could condone such cruelty. No crueler than the sight of Yotsuyu free and forgiven, while my husband and son fought Garlemald's wars, now dead and forgotten in a foreign land. With all due respect, Lord Hien, is it not your duty to protect Doma and her people? How are we to place our faith in the man who places the enemy's safety and well-being above that of his own subjects? Only the kami are deserving of our adoration, as they have always been. Cool. Now killing the blasphemy is a bad idea. Like, regardless of their shitty arguments, they have ultimately placed their faith in a thing that is going to terrorize the world. Thus, killing it would only give rise to despair in them, so now we have to legitimately... Fucking religion. Are you alright? For a moment, you seemed unwell. Villagers are no doubt loath to ask it of me, but preparations must be made for burial and funeral rites. I can offer that much, at least. You seemed distracted during our conversation with Kisei. Is something the matter? I saw things. The echo. The blasphemy was indeed born of Minato. To bear witness to such horror. Our mind must have struggled to comprehend what she saw. And as a woman of faith, perhaps her only surviving family becoming one with the divine was the only reality with which she could come to terms with. I believe I know now what must be done. I but pray her fervor does not drive her to oppose us. Come, let us return to the Enclave. Sometimes in a story, there can be a lot of convenience with, like, hiding information from people, but this definitely seems like the kind of thing that, like, makes sense, right? Where, like, yeah, not many people were actually informed of the deal with Yotsuyu after she returned, and, well, no, but, like, the people of Yangsha were informed. It's possible word didn't spread, but, like... But then, yeah, there are a lot of people who would obviously maybe not buy that immediately, like most people didn't. So it's not unreasonable that there's a subsection of people in Doma who feel that, that can only come to the conclusion that Lord Hien was, taking care of their enemies whilst, like, not being able to help his comrades. Whereas, like, the only thing he could do for Yotsuyu was, like, to hear Gosetsu out and eventually admit that Tsuyu falling into Garlemald's hands probably is not a good thing, whilst only being able to bring back the people, a person who was deliberately manipulating the situation to only manufacture a war against Doma brought back. It's like, he ends in a really bad position here where he just can't come out of this actually looking good. Someone has conspired on one side to make it look like he... has conspired on one side to give him the least amount of, people possible, while he is also forced to contend with the idea that it would be a bad idea to let an enemy fall into the enemy's hands. Ugh. And yeah, this is the way the people reconcile with it. What do you suppose Lord Hien intends to do? What you told me of your vision, the nature of Minato's despair, as well as the focus of her ire, is clear. It is plain she was a good-natured and kind-hearted woman, grieving for the loss of her husband. This loss alone may not have been enough to turn her, but my failure to hold Yotsuyu to account together with the sight of their families reunited compounded the turmoil in her broken heart. A path to despair paved by my good intentions. A truth that will weigh heavy on my conscience unto my dying day. Minato was prepared to die in sadness rather than live in hatred. If she could see the beast she has become, she would implore us to stop her. Which is why we must find the others who will return to us in the prisoner program before they can come... prisoner exchange, before they can come to harm. Once their safety is assured, we may hunt down the blasphemy and bring a close to this tragedy. Oh, okay. Huh. Well, there's going to be a complication in this plan because, like, we're definitely not going to get that done in 3 quests. 4, sorry. 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. There is work to be done, yet Yugiri appears reluctant to take action. Aldine, if you'll come to ask after the blasphemy, I have naught to share. As of yet, our shinobi have seen no sight of the beast. The returnees, however, are all accounted for, and Lord Hien has seen them safely to Kien Khan. As such, he is presently assisting with the hunt. For a blessing, there have been no reports of other villagers turning, and yet... Before the situation takes a turn for the worse, there is a matter I feel warrants further investigation. Kisei. Though a villager of Isari, I suspect she may, in fact, hail from my home, Suino Sato. Oh! Knowing they would be loath to answer my inquiries, I entreated the Kojin to contact Suino Sato in my stead. While contact with the outside world is kept to a minimum, they have ever maintained relations with the Blue of Tamamizu. Mentioned Kisei, however, their cordial warmth turned strangely cold. If we are to learn more, I fear we have little choice but to go and speak with the people of Suino Sato ourselves. Simple visit for you, I imagine, but my banishment complicates matters. That said, it has been many years since I left home. Were I to disguise myself, I might well go unnoticed in your company, if you are willing to take the risk. Yeah, I wouldn't have agreed to that. Thank you. Let us make for Onokoro then. I think you could just let me do it. It's probably just better if you let me do it, Yugiri. Like, I don't think much can come from risking it, honestly. Especially given the fact your parents would probably be, like, excessively overjoyed, but... Wait, how the hell is Yugiri gonna even get down there? I mean, I can just swim, but, like... Oh, is that her old Heavensward outfit? Thank you, game. The garments I wore when we first met. Sufficient, I think, to conceal my identity. How many years has it been since I last saw home? I am a shinobi of Doma, aye, but even as a child I sought to ensure the safety and survival of Suino Sato. I was quite bold in those days, if not a touch reckless. Together with the other children, I often ventured beyond the borders of home. Yeah, well, no shit, all of us, we can do that. We yearned for adventure, and so one day we sought to behold the wonders of Doma. Imagine our horror to discover a city of ruin and ash, Imperial soldiers marching through the streets. We fled at the sight, but in my haste I lost my way in the bamboo groves. It was there that I first met a young boy named Shun, a sweaty mess as he swung his wooden sword with reckless abandon, trained to fulfill his duty as a samurai, he said. Ah, Hien. Having seen the destruction of which the Empire was capable, I too felt the need to protect my home. I joined him in his exercises, and every day my resolve to protect those I love grew. No, Ryuzaki. Me, what? The Warrior of Light, Alize, and Lise can literally breathe underwater. I think we'd beat Thancred. Sadly, my elders refused to listen. They were content to remain hidden beneath the waves, and hopefully the Empire's notice. With a heavy heart, I left in search of the strength I believe we sorely needed, and I found it as a shinobi. But the people feared war and conflict would follow on my heels should I return. I do not begrudge them their decision, nor do I regret mine own. Part of me is overjoyed at the thought of seeing home again. Openly defying the wishes of the Ruby Princess, however, would bode ill for my family. They would have suffered enough for my transgressions. That is why, for their sake, I should remain naught but a faceless shinobi at your employ. Okay. Thank you. With that in mind, let us make for Suino Sato. Oh, we're already here. All these years, yet naught appears to have changed since the day I left. I think... Is that the same, like, Mikote body as well? But now it's not the time to reminisce. We have work to do. Kisei's departure from Suino Sato was likely decades ago. Perhaps the village elders will know why she chose to leave. Yuri is now accompanying you. Like, yeah, that looks like the same model. Like, not even, like, updated to have, like, the proper Aura horns or anything. Amiibo Elder. Kisei. Name sounds familiar, and yes. Apologies, friend. My memory is not what it once was. Let us seek out another. My, it's been quite some time since I last heard that name. She was a priestess of the village, banished after drawing the ire of the former Ruby Princess. What has become of her after all these years, I wonder? Please, is there anything else you can tell us? Unagi was quite close with her, if memory serves. Perhaps you could seek her out. I can't see what Yugiri's doing. Mother. I'd hoped to avoid my parents, but if there is no other way... Aldine, may I ask you to take the lead? Is that the only two people I needed to speak to? I wasn't actually paying attention. Unagi and Thanami. Oh, Ihanami? I say, you're not the adventurer who had aided Yugiri in Doma's liberation? Oh, 'tis good to see you again. To what do we owe the honor of your visit? Kisei. Yes, we were close, but that was a long, long time ago. Still, if I could be of assistance to the man to whom we owe so much, I will share all I know. Kisei was born to a family of priests, and even at an early age, she was possessed of extraordinary abilities. Much was expected of her, but everything changed the day she said she could speak with the dead. No one believed her at first, but she continued to insist she could, and strove to prove it by demonstrating knowledge well beyond her years, knowledge of events to which she should not have been privy. Word of her talent eventually reached the Ruby Princess, and she was summoned to Shisui of the Violet Tides for a private audience. No one knows what Kisei said to her in the palace, only that the princess was incandescent with rage and ordered her exiled forthwith. Some believe Kisei revealed the terrible secret of the royal house, or perhaps spoke a blatant falsehood that proved her a liar. Indeed, the knowledge she claimed to divine from the dead was not always truthful. But who is to say the dead would know the truth, or not seek to deceive? Thus could we never be certain if it was simply a fantasy or power divine. The one thing that is certain is that no small number of people found comfort in her words. Would that I could tell you more, but sadly I've not seen or spoken with Kisei since her banishment. Forgive me, but Have we met your companion before? She looks familiar. I believe this is the first time our humble shinobi has visited Suino Sato. Ah, is that so? For the briefest moments, you reminded me of someone quite dear to my heart. Being a shinobi, I presume you have heard tales of Yugiri Mistwalker. Should you chance to meet her, may I ask you to deliver her a message? Tell her that her mother and father love her. That we could not be more proud of her. I will. I have no doubt she feels the same. Not a day goes by without you in her thoughts. I believe we've heard enough. Shall we return to Onokoro? So... My apologies for placing you in so peculiar a situation. Though I must confess, it did my heart good to see Mother and Father well. All the more reason I must do all I can to keep the peace. As the Shinomi of Doma. No, as a member of the Eastern Alliance. Mayhap there will come a day when Suino Sato opens to the world. A day when Yugiri Mistwalker can be reunited with her father and mother. Would that Lord Hien could be afforded the same opportunity. But Lord Kaien and Lady Mina have long since passed. Two of too many lives lost in the Imperial occupation. I cannot imagine he would ever succumb to despair. But make no mistake. Lord Hien knows the pain of his people all too well. I can see it in his eyes. And if I may be honest, it troubles me at times. But perhaps I've said too much. Come, we mustn't keep him waiting. Okay, so... I wonder where this is going to go. Because there's a couple of ways we could tackle Kisei's hold over the people of Doma. One would be to prove that she's a liar, which Yugiri's mother has basically, like, implied that it's kind of fruitless, because, like, you don't know if people... much in the way that you could quiz someone about talking to another person and telling them what they told you. If that person lied to the person who's reporting to you, there's no way to tell if the person reporting to you is lying or if that other person was lying. Like, it's a bit of a chicken and egg kind of thing where, like, it's just completely unfalsifiable. And as much as, you know, a person might say, but that's what they told me, it's like, well, are they lying? Are they just guessing? Did they ever talk to them? Or did they talk to them and that person was just guessing, lying, or anything else? So I feel like that's probably not the way we're going to go. I feel like we're probably going to lean on the we shouldn't be focusing so much on the dead and trying to keep the people who are still alive to, you know, build things, because that's what we really need. Stagnating and focusing on the people who are dead as the crux of what we're focused on, rather than like trying to build something that they would be proud of, or such that people don't die or perish in the ways they did, is a far more positive and actually motivating force. For a blessing, Onokoro appears to be untouched by the recent chaos. For now, at least. Welcome back. I trust your journey proved an enlightening one. So she does, in fact, hail from Suino Sato. And you say she has possessed these divine gifts since childhood. Genuine or no, the people believe her, and more flock to her side with every passing day. But the returnees are safe at the Kienkan. Its defenses bolstered. As for the blasphemy, I have spoken with our Confederate allies, among others, and together we will establish a network of contacts across the length and breadth of Doma to take up the search in earnest. Mark my words, we will find it. The devoted daughter. Giri appears armed and ready to leave the Enclave, which can only mean one thing. We've arrived not a moment too soon. The blasphemy has been sighted on the coast. For a mercy, there are no reported casualties as of yet. Just the man I was hoping to see. No sooner had we cast our net than a Confederate messenger was at our door. If you would join us, Rasho awaits our arrival at Onokoro. Was he the pirate that shares Aldine's hair? I forget. Oh, it might actually be the leader, come to think of it. Yeah. Tansui is the, one that stole my hair. Ah, OBS, come back. There you are. Well now, that the noble Lord of Doma should come in one person once again. Perhaps these blasphemies truly are a threat. Indeed they are. And I was told you and yours sighted our quarry quite recently. Huh? Aye, that we did. Near the islands of Shoal Rock. The beast appeared to be docile by all accounts, but appearances could be deceiving. If it is as you say, that this blasphemy has eyes only for former conscripts, then we have naught to fear. Trust those we accepted into our care still in yours at the Kienkan, enjoying the finest Doman hospitality. Anyway, I know not why it came to the Ruby Sea, nor why it remains idle, but if we act quickly, there is a chance we can take it unawares. I propose we divide our forces. If you're willing to go ashore, we'll take a ship and circle about the Isles. The first to find it will have the honor of the kill. Actually, the way I remember his voice is actually kind of similar to Sicard's, now that I think about it. Ha! A simple enough plan. Shall we be off to Shoal Rock, then? I get the sense this is not going to be as simple as we hope. I thought we earned a reprieve from battle with the Imperial withdrawal, but it seems I was mistaken. So be it. I'll not suffer this monster to threaten us any longer. Can't imagine it will take long to deal with this creature once we corner it. You'd think. You would think. So are you on the aisle? Or... Oh, God, really hope... Oh, no, that's different, actually. I was gonna say, I hope it didn't actually enter the rock. I hope it didn't enter the tunnels where the, Kojin. That's it. Where the Kojin are, but... Make ready, Aldine. Should we find the beast first, we must be prepared to strike at once. This is where the blasphemy was last sighted. If the Vates are kind, this will all be over soon. So what's the bet Kisei's already here? Well, there it is. Oh, shit. Damn. Such speed. I doubt even my falcons could keep pace with it. Bah. Don't tell me that's the blasphemy flying off in the distance. I hope the ill it bore me in life might compel the beast to stay and fight. Perhaps less of Minato remains than I thought. Minato? That monstrosity was Minato? You knew her? Her family tried to flee to Hingashi during the occupation, but their ship was raided and sunk. When we happened upon the wreckage, she was huddled between her parents on a piece of flotsam, desperate to keep warm, but they had long since grown cold. We took her to Onokoro, where we nursed her back to health. Couldn't imagine what horror she must have witnessed. The mere sight of our weapons was enough to make her start screaming. She was clearly unfit for our trade, so we sought a village that might take her in. Isari was that village. Several months later, I chanced to meet her on this very beach. She was in the company of a young Ori fisherman. I knew at once she had found more than a home here. Saw them there many times after that. She found something comforting about this place, I think. According to reports from Radz-at-Han, the memories and desires of those who turn can influence their behavior as blasphemies. Then perhaps Minato's memories are what compelled the beast to come here. That would also explain its timid nature. Minato was never one for violence. The sight of you, blade drawn, no doubt stirred what little of the woman remains in the monster. If that is the case, an assault on the Kien Khan is unlikely, guarded as it is by our samurai. But how are we to fight an enemy so quick to flee at the first sign of danger? Robbed of her parents, her husband, now her life. I would rather we didn't have to at all. But I understand full well the risk we take by doing nothing. If we catch sight of the blasphemy again, you will be the first to know. Perhaps next time we can put her soul to rest. We scarcely had time to draw our weapons ere it fled. Perhaps we must reconsider our approach? There's naught to be done now but bide our time. Come, let us return to the Enclave. Oh my... Every time. If the blasphemy fears to show itself, there is no telling how long it may take to track it down a second time. Given what we have learned, it seems likely that the blasphemy will return to Shoal Rock. But that knowledge will avail us naught if we cannot prevent it from escaping. Oh boy. Lord Hien, on behalf of the people of Isari, we are come with a request. We welcome you with open arms and open hearts. What is it that you would ask of me? Those returned to us in the prisoner exchange have been granted shelter at the Kian Khan. That they live is an affront to the Kami's... Woman! Affront to the Kami's grand design, and the spirits of our loved ones suffer for it. Balance must needs be restored, and so I beseech you to render them unto the goddess Izanami. Absolutely not. 'Tis not our place to pray for the death of others, nor draw steel to sate mere bloodlust. When I take a life, be it by command or by my own hand, I do so not in service to vengeance, but to uphold my duty to Doma and her people. How did your mercy for Yotsuyu serve your duty? How were your people made better by the sight of her walking free? For her crimes and her cruelty, I cut her down the day we took Doma Castle. I sought to kill her, and by right she should have died then and there. But the Kami willed otherwise, and returned her to us alive and bereft of her memories. With no recollection of her deeds, it would have been Tsuyu who faced punishment, not Yotsuyu. This was my judgment, and for it you were denied the justice you deserved. You have every right to resent me. But you come before me and ask that I sacrifice men and women whose only crime was to suffer, to be condemned to a life of servitude. If you truly believe your cause to be so sacrosanct, believe yourselves fit to bear the burden and swing the sword, then step forward. Sophistry and lies. They were meant to die. The spirits demand it. Are these the words of the dead or the living who yet mourn? Yo! He's back! Word of the Isari's priestesses and her gifts has spread far and wide, and I thought to see the truth of it myself. By coincidence, I crossed paths with a traveller hailing from the selfsame village, who had a mind to return as well, but, alas, could not. And so he bid me deliver a missive in his stead. Judging by the striking resemblance, I take it you are the young fisher Akitsu. This is a letter from my father. He was severely wounded in battle, but expects to make a full recovery. Oh, you lying... He's alive. But that would mean... You fucking... Surely a woman of your talents can divine a plausible explanation for this turn of events. You shall pay for this contumely. What the fuck does that? Hold on. Contumely. Insolent or insulting language?
Contumely.
Contumely. My daughter will make certain of that. Fuck off, then. Holy shit! That's... I really thought we were gonna legitimately contend with that, not that she was actually a fucking liar. Oh my god. Fraud. Fraud detected. Apologies for the abrupt and otherwise unannounced arrival. As you can see, my lord Ian, I am returned. Full glad am I for it. Thanks to your timely arrival, we have given the lie to Kisei's claims of preternatural powers. I gather you are apprised of recent events? Aye. It did not take long to learn the state of affairs here in Doma, and that my assistance may be required. I had heard tales of Kisei channeling the dead, including the father of one young fisherman. Imagine my surprise when I saw this spirit in the flesh. He was also on pilgrimage, paying respects to the departed, and we chanced to meet in the Liberation Front infirmary. Would that we were not brought back together under such circumstances, but I am glad to see you all hale and hearty. Hell yeah. I mean, he's probably only back for this quest line, but goddamn, it's good to see him again. Yeah. Tonbo, is something the matter? I wish to apologize, Lord Hien. It was wrong of me to say the things I said. I understand nothing can bring my father back. But I was so angry, Please, Tonbo. You needn't apologize. It's just... my brother was always so brave, but father's death was more than he could bear, and it turned him into that monster. If he wasn't brave enough, what chance do I have? We wanted to perform the rites for our father, but the body was never returned to us, so... Not that I blame you for that, Lord Hien. I understand nothing could be... nothing could be done. That Takitsu's father survived is nothing short of a miracle, but I fear he is indeed the rare exception. I have offered prayers at more graves than I can count. It would be cruel to give others the false hope that their loved ones might return. And yet Kisei continues to do just that, offering comfort with her lies. A tempting but ephemeral balm for wounds that have yet to heal. Much like the anger some harbor for you, or resentment for the families restored while theirs remain broken. But for those like that poor boy whose hearts lack for hatred, who know only sadness and despair, aye, they too may turn. Exposing the truth of Kisei's deception hasn't helped matters. If we are to prevent more suffering, we must pursue a lasting solution. I would be most grateful for your counsel, Gosetsu. There is much I could learn from your pilgrimage. If there is aught you require, but say the word and it shall be done. It is the least I can do for the part I played in Yotsu's tragedy. I failed her in the end, but I will not fail you, my lord. Thank you again for your aid, Aldine. The day's events have given me much to consider. When our next step is decided, you will be the first to know. Ah, me talk to him! Hien! I know you're in there! You know what? We might finish off this quest line before I take a break. I think that, makes the most sense. Yugiri's stern expression suggests she has no good news to share. Regrettably, there have been no sightings of the blasphemy since our first encounter at Shoal Rock, and as Tansui surmised, it seems to fear confrontation. We, for our part, have tried to make good use of this, intervening calm. Even now, Lord Hien and Gosetsu discuss how we might prevent other villagers from turning. If you would wait here a moment, he would no doubt wish to hear your thoughts on the matter. Aldine, so glad you could come. As Yugiri no doubt explained, the blasphemy continues to elude us, and so if we have turned our attention to other matters, we can and should address. After long discussions and much deliberation, we believe we have found a means to allay the growing malaise of our people. If you would, Gosetsu. The idea came to us after considering young Tonbo's remarks about his father, whose body was never found and returned to Doma. Others no doubt share in his melancholy, unable to bury and mourn their loved ones as is their right. Put simply, they cannot make peace with their loss. Their anguish, if left to linger, may consume them as well. That we might provide the people of Doma comfort with comfort and closure, we will hold a national funeral at the Swallow's Compass. Those who choose to attend will be asked to present personal effects of the deceased they wish to be enshrined there. Spirits reside in all things, be they living or inanimate. Though we may die, a part of us lives on in the items we cherish most in life. Therefore, in lieu of remains, these belongings will be afforded a place in the royal mausoleum, that the spirits of those lost to us may find their way home to Doma, and at last know peace. The announcement has already been made, and a great many people are now engaged in the difficult task of deciding which keepsake will serve as their offering. It is not a decision to be made lightly, but I suspect they will have made up their minds by the time we go to collect their chosen tokens. I also hope to learn more about the departed from those willing to speak with me, for my benefit and for theirs. To break free of their sorrow, they must seek joy in the memories and the love they shared with the departed, and I will help them find it. Might the Liberator of Doma be willing to favor the people with his presence as well? I doubt not they will appreciate the gesture. Good. Yugiri, I leave the people of Isari to you. Gosetsu, might I ask you to... apologies, my lord, but there is a small but most urgent matter I must first attend to. Oh? Something Tsuyu related, no doubt. Very well, I shall not pry. Now, Aldine, let us go and pay a visit to the good people of Namai. Yeah. Right then. Before we begin, I would remind you that you need only listen to the tales of their loved ones. As overseer of their ceremony, I see it as my duty to deliver their effects personally. Because of this, it is of the utmost importance that we keep clear of any beasts that might damage our cargo. It goes without saying how important it is to their offering that their offerings are delivered in pristine condition, and I will be no good to you in a fight while heavily encumbered. If stealth or flight are not options, I must ask you to fight for us both. But we needn't worry unless the occasion arises. For now, let us be off. Ian is now accompanying you. Keep this. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought we skipped the bit where we were going to speak to the villagers, and I was like, really? We don't get to do that? But no. I must thank you again, Lord Hien, for this honor. My son would have been overjoyed to know that his katana would be enshrined at the Swallow's Compass. Nay, the honor is mine. I'm sure your son was a fine warrior. Aye, and so was I, once upon a time. Samurai, as it happens, in service to your father when the Empire first invaded our lands. Though we were defeated, our spirits broken, my son, oh, fuck. No, don't do that. My son, Motosui, was never one to lose hope. He was determined to follow in my footsteps. Gave his everything to honing his skill with the blade. When I watched him train, I felt the pride I thought I'd forsaken swell in my breast, and I knew he would restore our family to its former glory. Alas. He could have fled. Perhaps started life anew as a vagabond of some sort. But he bore the burden and fought for Garlemald, for fear of what the Imperials might do if he did not. 'Tis plain he was a loving son, and a warrior true. I will care for his blade as if it were mine own, and see it given the honor and respect due of a samurai of Doma. Whee! Hi. My husband. My dear sweet Maroya. Never returned from Garlemald, but perhaps now his soul might know peace. Please take this painting brush to the Swallow's Compass. I shall handle it with the utmost care. Might we trouble you to tell us more about your husband? Maroya was a kind and gentle soul. There is nothing he loved more in the world than to create. That brush never left his side, not even when he attended to the fields. Any spare moment was dedicated to his craft, and he produced the most beautiful vistas of Yangsha. It was his dream to take us to Kugane, where he would become a famous artist, until he was conscripted. In the early days, he would send me drawings of the places they took him, though I know not how. But more time began to pass between each arrival, and then they stopped coming altogether. I know not in what far-flung land he died, but I pray it was as beautiful as his works. He sounds like quite a man. To hold fast to his art even when forced to endure such hardship. His soul will find peace, of that I have no doubt. Oh, orb. Oh no. Fuck. I realize it's quite large, but I wanted to offer this on behalf of my brother and our father, Suzu Shiro. If you are willing, I would very much like to hear about them both. My father, he was a carpenter. He was a good man, if a bit stubborn, always thinking about his work. The only time he ever seemed to enjoy himself was when he had a cup of sake in his hand. When my brother came of age, he took up the trade as well. It brought them closer. I'd see them laughing over drinks together, or listening in silence to the crickets singing under the moonlight. I wanted to join them one day. This was their favorite sake. I thought they might miss it. I'm sure it will taste all the sweeter having come from you. God damn it. I realize no one can ever replace your brother or father, but if you will allow, I would be honored to share drinks with you in their stead. When you are of age, of course. This should be everything. Would you join me for a short reprieve before our journey back? Of course. So, like... Oh god, was it really last year? Yeah, it was last year. Shit. I hadn't really experienced, like, death, like, in friend circles or family until last year. So, a lot of times this stuff was obviously, like, moving, but not, like... It didn't really hit me in the gut unless they were, like, very specific, like, story beats or things like that kind of came with it. Yeah, nowadays, though, no. People, like, sitting around and reflecting actually, like, really gets me emotional. Because, you know, in my family's case, we got time to kind of come to terms with what was happening, but, in my friend group, we did not, and, this kind of thing, reflecting on, reflecting on the lives lived, yeah, I can't see that anymore without getting a little misty-eyed. The sun's starting to rise too. They put on brave faces, but the people of Namai are still racked with grief. It is the same at every village I have visited in recent days, but it is only now that I am struck by the contradictory nature of my goals. Having joined the Eastern Alliance and taken steps to revitalize the Enclave, I believe Doma was at last on the path to peace and prosperity. I still do. Yet by focusing so keenly on the future, I have neglected the past that yet haunts my people. Even if they do not give in to despair and become beasts that plague our lands like poor Tombo's brother, how are we to truly move forward if we are constantly looking back? You speak of their haunted past, Lord Hien, but what of yours? Is there not someone for whom you yourself still grieve? Me? All things considered, I suppose it was only a matter of time before the subject was broached. Huh. He cuts to the heart of the matter, and that... he cuts to the heart of the matter, the young lord. For the best, I should think, for he cannot lead by example if he has not yet made peace with his own past. Ah, thank you. 1,000 apologies, my lord. I was passing through, tending to the matters of which I spoke earlier, when I chanced to hear familiar voices in the distance. If I may be so bold, the people of Doma, one and all, understand the source of your pain. To lose your father in the turmoil of a failed rebellion, his staggering duty to the throne thrust upon you. Aye. How could you even begin to mourn when first you had to lead? It would behoove you to take part in the funeral rites, my lord. Take this time to make peace with your past while it is still yours to spend. Though unlikely, if not impossible, were you to become a monster as well, Doma would surely be lost. I thank you for your counsel, Gosetsu. But if I may ask, why is it you keep your blade at the ready? I thought this personal matter of yours to be naught but a trifle, or am I mistaken? Well, I find the katana a superior tool for peeling persimmons. Speaking of which, I do believe my stomach begs for sustenance. If you'll excuse me. Training. To help slay the blasphemy, no doubt. Fitting that he should offer me counsel, yet refuse to heed it in kind. He is not the warrior he once was, but he is wise, our obstinate friend. If I am to be perfectly honest, it frightens me to recall it. The moment it all came crashing down. We'd taken Doma Castle, victory was ours, but then we looked out and saw the banners of the 12th Legion marching toward us, the Crown Prince at the fore. No sooner had Gosetsu and I escaped than we received word that Xenos had slain my father. I remember how the fight went out of Gosetsu in an instant. How he wept for his lord, while I felt the weight of the profound duty bear down upon my shoulders. Crushing, suffocating. The heat of my own breath, the chill of my clammy palms. But duty demanded I master my emotions. When all those around me, Gosetsu included, were consumed by anger and a thirst for vengeance, I had to be in control. Under my orders, we dispersed and fled to fight another day. To this day, I have not stopped to reflect on my father's death. How could I, devoted as I am to finding Doma's way forward? But now I must. And so, having taken you into my confidence, would you see this through with me to Journey's End? The keepsake I would offer up for the funeral is hidden in a place not easily reached. We will have to fly there, I'm afraid. But worry not, my yawl will ferry us. Just a moment. Yeah, Parting Ways is pretty good. I think that there's definitely more sad music that gets me purely because of, like, contextual stuff. Yeah, Parting Ways is a... Oh, shit. Parting Ways is a sleeper hit, in my opinion. Place we seek is Plum Spring in the mountains. Shall we? Let's go. Oh, this is a place I've never been to before. Like, I think the one that will always get me is, it's the less intense theme that's part of usually the level 50 job quest battles. Oh god, I forget what it's called. It's a Heavensward track, and it's like Relic something. Or, sorry, there's a Heavensward version of it, and it's called Relics. Hang on. I'm gonna try and find this while I'm... It might just be Relics? Yeah, actually, no, it is Relics. Yeah. That one's the one that will always get me. Tomorrow and Tomorrow Reprise is also a really good one. Is that the one that's always... Is that the one that plays in the 5.3, like, little section before the trial? I mean, Tomorrow and Tomorrow is, like, definitely a killer no matter what, but, I always forget which version is which of that. My parents would bring me here for Hanami as a child. Its beauty and serenity was such that I could forget the realities of the occupation. Indeed, some of my fondest memories of family are here. Which is precisely why I chose this place to conceal the singular gift my father bequeathed to me as a child. Yes, that... Okay, yeah, that is the one. Oh. Charming, is it not? Great Auspice, Kitian Dasheng, said to reside somewhere along the Dairyu chain. In those days, anyone and everyone knew the tales of his prowess. Reckless boy that I was, I once even tried to seek him out, hoping he might help us. I buried it here shortly after my coming-of-age ceremony. It seemed a fitting place to both part with my childhood and offer a final goodbye to my mother. More a keepsake of mine than his, to be sure, but he was never a man of worldly possessions. Still, I suspect he would allow myself a rare smile if he were to see it again after all these years. No, I haven't killed him. Yep. And this is precisely how I wish to bid him farewell. With a smile. It should go without saying, I prefer it not become known that I kept this doll here. Wouldn't want the children to grow jealous now, would we? And with that, I believe it is time we return to the Enclave. Two of you are away for quite some time. Is everything alright? There are yet more villages to visit and offerings to collect, but preparations are proceeding apace. Soon the people will have one less cause to be tempted down the path of despair. Of course, there still remains the problem of the blasphemy. The former conscripts will remain at the Kian Khan until it has been dealt with. We will slay this beast in due time. But before that, I would be honored if you were present for the funeral rites. Pray, speak with Yugiri when next you visit the Enclave, and she will tell you more of the proceedings. Well, guess what? That's right fucking now. Uh-oh, this is coinciding with the level 90 quest. Uh-oh. Yugiri's somber expression suggests you have arrived right on time. As ever, your timing is impeccable. We but moments ago completed preparations for the funeral. I will inform Lord Hien of your arrival. Oh god, don't tell me this thing is gonna attack at the funeral. Fuck. You're here. Excellent. The blasphemy continues to shun our settlements, and I mean to make the most of the time its absence affords us. I assume you were planning to take part in the ceremony? Glad to hear it. Unfortunately, Gosetsu will not be joining us today. What? He's injured himself. As I knew he would with his secret training, now grumbles from the confines of his bed. But he will be fine in due course. We may worry over his convalescence after the funeral. God damn it, Gosetsu, you fucking... How many times do you need to be taught that lesson, old man? For real. My guy, stop it. Do I have a... I do. Cool. Same amount as Elidibus. Yeah, that's about right. Villagers should arrive ere long. Then we may begin. Lord Hien, I... Oh, big bow? I apologize, my lord, for my past transgressions. I yearned to believe my daughter was a kami reborn, but you were right. She is a monster. Words can ill express my shame for advocating the conscripts be sacrificed to appease the dead. Nay, this ceremony shall serve far, far better. And so, as a humble citizen of Doma, I offer my deepest gratitude and beg for your forgiveness. I would make an offering on behalf of my husband and son, as well as my dear sweet Minato. I throw myself at your mercy, Lord Hien. Allow them a place within the mausoleum that their spirits may know peace. There is no need to beg forgiveness, Kisei. Please, rise. Oh, you She will come for you. Good. By the kami. She gave her life to draw out the blasphemy. God damn it. I thought that was a bit too easy. I was really hoping it wasn't going to come to that, though, but... yeah. Evidently not. No.
For you, Father.
Did I not... I forget what that's procced by, actually.
Concentrate.
It is nothing.
Uh-huh. Oh my god, I spammed it too much. Fuck me. Oh my god, I'm a moron. Ugh. Oh, okay. Gosetsu? Yeah. Excuse me? Apologies for the untimely arrival, my lord. Has he become a fucking healer? Oh my god. Gosetsu? What is that stuff? Pilgrimage proved a most enlightening experience, and is where I chanced to discover the benefits of aesthetic training. I may no longer be fit to wield the blade, my lord, but, Shugendo affords me enough way to turn the tide of battle. Oh fucking K then. Stubborn as ever. I shall have to thank you later. Let us put an end to this. Of course we gotta play the Stormblood battle theme. We restarting the battle-ish then? Yes. Oh.
For you, Father.
Oh, fucking Hien got... Oh. I need to get to Gosetsu. Fuck. I wasn't watching the fucking battle. I need to put up a button for... Starfall.
The weave of a shinobi's power.
Just but a scratch.
Oh, I keep doing that. Yeah, my skill speed in this gear is all over the place, so, like, I don't have a well-balanced GCD for playing Dancer, basically. Left. Oh, that was the wrong thing. Fuck. Oh. Nope. Alright, I think this might be the hands down best one just because Gasetsu came back in new job reveal. Like, that's kind of cheating, but, I mean, come on. I think this might be the best one. Daughter's dead, by the way. Deceive her to the bitter end. But she is still a daughter of Doma. She will have a proper burial, and her family's belongings enshrined with the others. Oh my god, my desktop audio's... Fuck. That's like half the stream. God damn it. Oh. There's no like spoken dialogue at the very least, so it's not the biggest loss. I have gathered you here today not to speak of the future, but to reflect on the past, to pay respects to loved ones fallen on the field of battle. In honor of their sacrifices, these sons and daughters of Doma shall be given a place here at the Swallow's Compass. Though they no longer walk with us in life, they will walk with us in spirit. Pray never forget their bravery, that the memories of their legacy give you comfort and strength. Maruya Motokawa, the aspiring painter. He was a man who saw beauty in all things, and one day would have become a renowned artist in Kugane. Motosue Jito, the warrior in training. He longed to become a samurai like his father, and bring honor to his family. Suzushiro Kodakumi, the carpenter. A man wholly dedicated to his craft, who hoped to one day pass on his talents to his two loving children. Okay, this one too. This one's a really good sad theme. Even though it does have a hopeful thing to it, it's mostly invoked in situations like this. Well, I feel... Okay, post Endwalker, I feel more like this brings out sadness in me, even though it is technically a happy theme, but it's the way it's invoked. And lastly, Minato Shihogaki and her mother-in-law Kisei. Theirs was once a happiness to be envied. Minato's parents were murdered by Imperial soldiers, and after being rescued by the Confederacy, Minato was given into the care of the village of Isari. Though she arrived with a broken heart, it was soon mended by the man who would become her husband, the son of Kisei, who herself had been born to Isari on winds of tragedy. Kisei was a child of the deep, born in Suinosato. For her gifts she was exiled, but with her courage and tenacity found a new home on the shores of the Ruby Sea. She was a devoted wife and mother. Though not related by blood, she loved Minato as if she were their own. That is how she lived. How they all lived. and how they should be remembered. Let your hearts swell not with sorrow, but with joy for their memory. Know that of their mark left on this world shall... know that proof of their mark left on this world shall remain here, enshrined with the swallow's compass for all eternity. Let us still hear our voices, or let us still our voices, and in silent prayer for their souls. Oh, and in silence pray for their souls, that they may share in the peace we have found. Traditionally, the royal mausoleum is reserved for the ruling clans, but I have no doubt Lord Gaian would approve of his son's decision. Many tears were shed through the ceremony. Not for grief, but for relief, I think. Happiness, even. The rains have ceased. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting battle with a blasphemy as a prelude to the ceremony. At least now we may breathe easy, if only for a short while. What the fuck is fog? The villagers have all returned home, and I believe it is time we did the same. Like, I'm not gonna lie, a little part of me is like, oh, I kind of wish Gosetsu had put something of Yotsuyu, something of Tsuyu's in the, in there. But, you know what, that was a pretty good alternative, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not yet well versed in healing magics, but thankfully it was enough to be of some use to Lord Hien. Never in my wildest dreams did I foresee Gosetsu embracing the ascetic arts. Held a national funeral and slain a blasphemy besides. Rather productive day, would you not agree? Former conscripts will be elated to finally return home. Speaking of returns, I think I speak for us all when I say your appearance at the Swallow's Compass came as something of a shock. What of your injuries from training? Quite painful for some time, I assure you. Despite my best efforts to reclaim my former skills, my back and my hips vigorously protested. I planned to sleep that I might be well rested for the morrow's hunt, but the voice called out to me. It was needed, and so I grabbed my cane and ran as quickly as my ailing body would allow. The cane suits you, Gosetsu, but your mastery of healing magics was a sight to behold. Most as surprising is your resurrection following the fall of Doma Castle. I am still but a novice in dire need of training. It is my hope that I will be able to refine my ascetic arts during my next pilgrimage. Yeah, of course. So you are leaving, then? Worry not, Lord Hien. Should you find yourself in dire straits once more, I shall fly to your side. Not as a samurai, perhaps, but I will nonetheless give our enemies cause to tremble. And with that, I take my leave. Maybe years, if not decades, until we truly make peace with our past. We have turned a corner and begun to heal. We may look to the future and unburdened by grief, ignored and sadness denied. The path ahead is ever fraught with peril. We shall walk it with eyes unclouded, and with pride. You have done so much for us, for Doma. I wish there was more I could do for you. If I may ask one last favor before you leave, please inform our representative at Radzat Han that the blasphemy has been vanquished, and the people of Doma are safe. With any luck, our experiences here will prove useful to other nations that yet grapple with these beasts. Wait, why did it... even change the fucking thing. That's weird. Okay, yeah, I'm probably biased a little bit because, like, the reveal that, like, Gosetsu is taking up healing is, like, that's top tier, and, like, especially from a character that was, like, well-beloved and, had disappeared for a fair while. It was really good to see him again. I don't know how any of the others could have actually shaped up to that. Like, Gridania, I didn't like. Ishgard, I think, had the best, blasphemy, honestly. Like, who that is, like, actually, like, a phenomenal, like, it is interesting to explore. I really liked the overall narrative and the ground, and the kind of, like, ground we covered with the Ul'dan one. Limsa was fine. Nothing, like, remarkable, but it was still good. But like, Doma had the best, like, pop-off moment, I think, in terms of, like, just seeing Gosetsu run back, but, yeah. Saldine, you're returned. What word from Doma? We killed it. It's all good. Blasphemy is no more. Oh, that is most wonderful news. Must inform the other delegates at once. Thank you again for answering our summons. If another threat should rear its dastardly head, I pray we can count on your assistance again. Of course. I can now dye that stuff. I think you might have the... Yeah, you do. Alright then. Sitting down once more. What job should I take up for this next thing? Maybe I'll continue Dancer, just because, A, I kind of want to learn it a little bit more, and, like, obviously I'm still kind of rusty doing that. I don't suspect that I'd need, like, a lot of eye level to actually do it. Any of the, encounters, at least, but, yeah. For X-Pack Thematics Paladin, I hate Paladin. No. Incorrect. I didn't know you could give me an incorrect answer, Ryuzaki, but you gave me an incorrect answer. But yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're gonna finish up the EW role quests. We've just got the follow-up to do now, so... Damn, poster job in shambles. I'm sorry, I really dislike it. I think every other tank has something going on except Paladin, and I don't like Paladin. Like, I really don't like it. Anyway, I will be right back.